Popular businessman Sridhar Vembu, who co-founded Zoho Corp, recently said that artificial intelligence or AI could end up destroying a lot of software jobs. Opinions from around the world don't seem any different. But why did Mr. Vembu say this now, more than 2 years after ChatGPT from OpenAI captured all our imagination? Is it likely that AI's progress is alarmingly quicker than what we anticipated? Let's take a look. Hello and welcome back to Business Matters at the Hindu with me, K. Bharat Kumar. Here's what Mr. Vembu said in a recent tweet. That software engineers get paid better than mechanical or civil engineers or chemists or even school teachers. It's not some form of birthright. And don't assume that it would last forever. He added that it was a good time to remind itself for the software industry that it could well be disrupted. And the more we assume that we won't be, the more likely that we will be. He pointed out that the productivity revolution that he sees coming to software development, and he equates that with large language models, with tooling thrown in for good measure, this combination could well destroy a lot of software jobs. This is sobering but necessary to internalize. There were quite a few responses to Mr. Vembu's tweet and many that offered several perspectives. Here's an example. One Manvendra Singh indicates how Harvard professor Clayton Christensen's disruption framework showed how new technology gets developed in less sophisticated markets but then scales to take giants by surprise. He cites the example of what digital cameras did to Kodak. Kodak was the one that invented digital cameras in 1975, but the company clung on to film cameras because of the 70% margins that films offered. And by the time it reached 2012, it had lost 80% of its workforce. Mr. Singh claims that AI is doing something similar to the software engineering market. In a podcast with McKinsey last year, GitHub CEO Thomas Domk said that his company conducted a study with 100 developers, software developers, 50 of whom had Microsoft Copilot to help them and 50 did not. They were asked to build an HTTP web server using JavaScript. The group using Copilot was 55% faster than the other. They got the project done in 1 hour and 10 minutes versus 2 hours and 40 minutes for the group that did not have Copilot to help them. Copilot also helped extract the higher success rate. 78% of the group completed the task compared with 70% for the group without Copilot. The person who responded to Mr. Vembu's tweet, that is Mr. Singh, indicates that the day is not far off when entire code bases could be developed by AI agents, and that would give rise to a demand for AI integrators. So much from the viewpoint of the individual programmer. What about companies? How are they coping with AI or making the best of it? The latest edition of this newsletter by thinker-writer Rishad Tobaccowala has an interesting headline. He calls it The Decline of Jobs and the Rise of Work. He says that companies have been built around the concept of jobs in order to get work done, but increasingly jobs will get disconnected from work. He says that there's a big transition going on right now where we are moving away from an era where there are offices filled by people inside the offices doing full-time jobs and getting work done. We are moving away from that to a world where there are fewer people getting the work done and who are not full-time employees and certainly not inside offices but are working from remote. Unless companies rethink everything from strategy to organizational design to financial metrics to training from the ground up for where the future of work is going, they will find themselves increasingly replaced by new entrants who source talent from anywhere in the world, are AI first, invest deeply in learning, and have talent programs reflecting the realities that again in turn reflect the different mindsets of multiple generations and an aging and declining population. Mr. Tobaccowala cites a recent Fortune article that refers to a study conducted again by McKinsey. The consulting firm used an AI agent to monitor an email ID for incoming project proposals from potential clients. When an email arrives in the inbox, the agent automatically assesses the job, estimating the staffing requirements, time to completion, and budget. It even suggests which available consultants should do the job. And even now, a human must review what the AI agent has done. But the use of AI has cut down the time taken to scope out a project from on average 20 days to just about 2 days now. So what impact will AI have on workers? Again, Mr. Tobaccowala cites the example of a Netherlands-based insurance firm that he learned about. It had 15 contractors in Bulgaria helping to process claims-related emails. The contractors determined whether an email was about a new claim or an existing one and made sure any information, including attachments, was uploaded to the appropriate databases. AI agents now do this work, and the company fired all the Bulgarian contractors. Here's another telling example. E-commerce platform Shopify has put in place a policy whereby no additional headcount will be approved unless it can be proven that that particular job profile cannot be done by an AI agent. Mr. Tobaccowala points out that jobs is not equal to work. He says work is anything that people do to help create value, whether it's paid for or not, and whether or not it appears on the company's headcount. He explains that once you separate the two, the paradox becomes clearer. Here are some of the reasons that he thinks why payroll job counts could flatten or even fall in time to come. The first reason is automation and AI, the topic of our episode. He says firms can keep revenue rising while headcounts stay flat. US job openings slipped from 8.1 million in March 2024 to 7.2 in March 2025, even though output kept growing. Risk offloading. Companies relabel employees as contractors or outsource entire functions, removing positions from the payroll tally without killing the underlying tasks. Capital first. Software, cloud services, and robotics make it cheaper to acquire capacity than recruit. So, fewer traditional roles are created per dollar of GDP. AI leverage. Obviously, one skilled person plus co-pilots or low-cost bots can match the output of a small team. So, headcounts shrink even as the task volume and value expand. Now, will we ride the new wave like the world did with the invention of electricity? Sure, a few traditional jobs like lighting street lamps disappeared overnight. But imagine what electricity did to the world. It powered the industrial revolution where millions of jobs were created and economies soared. Will AI do the same for us where more people could get more done as a result of which jobs or work could keep getting created for all of us to do? Or will AI replace jobs? What do you think? We'd love to hear from you on this. That brings us to our Did You Know section. From the chart on your screens, the figures are evident. Despite all the noise around competition to Google, the search giant still rules at the top in terms of monthly traffic. Google stands at 81.3 billion, while challenger OpenAI.com comes to 701 million. Quiz question for this week is, when was the term artificial intelligence originally coined? And the answer to last week's question, what is the difference between GDP and GVA, or gross value added? GVA provides a dollar value for the amount of goods and services that have been produced in a country minus the cost of all inputs, raw materials, and intermediate consumption that are directly attributable to that piece of production. GVA thus adjusts GDP by the impact of subsidies and taxes or tariffs on products. That's all we have for you folks in this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until we meet again, have a lovely time ahead.